It's Asylum time again, and of course Asylum means a mockbuster. This time we'll be having a look at Apocalypse Pompeii. Now of course this comes out just before the kind of bigger budget just Pompeii movie comes out in cinemas, and that one stars Kit Harington from Game of Thrones, directed by Paul W.S. Anderson. So this one is obviously your kind of Asylum mockbuster, kind of rip-off. Now the big budget Pompeii movie is a kind of a period piece, obviously sort of set on the original eruption of Mount Vesuvius, which destroyed the city of Pompeii. Obviously set in kind of like, you know, ancient Rome era. This is a contemporary film, basically because they haven't got the budget to do a kind of period piece, one would imagine. And this one stars Adrian, who's this kind of like ex-military guy who basically sort of takes his kind of family on I believe it's like a business trip to try and get a new job out in Italy, and while he's there, his wife and young daughter sort of get trapped ultimately because this the volcano basically erupts and it causes sort of mass damage as erupting volcanoes do, and he kind of enlists a team of his kind of ex-military pals and that kind of stuff, these sort of military types, to try and rescue his family. And these military sort of guys come in armed to the teeth, ready to fight a volcano with guns. So it's obviously a bit of a silly film. Now a couple of positives I would say for an Asylum picture. These always going to catch some flack regardless of whatever films that comes out of the Asylum studio. People are always going to kind of assume they're going to be crap, and for the most part they're going to be right. But let's take a look at a couple of positives. The effects were obviously a very, very low budget movie. I didn't think were too bad. Some of the volcano effects I thought were relatively well done for the budget. There are some sort of silly things that happen, like people just kind of bursting into flames instantly when kind of a piece of rock touches them and stuff like that. But overall, I thought the effects weren't so bad. I thought the acting was kind of passable. I've never been a big fan of kind of Adrian, who you may know from the kind of the Highlander TV series, but it's passable. The kind of the other actors, you've got John Rhys-Davies in here as well. So there's some reasonable acting. It's certainly not going to win any kind of awards. Maybe raspberry or whatever they're called. But anyway, so that's okay. But it's just a very silly movie. Unfortunately, I mean, with the best of intentions, I'd never think a volcano movie is a particularly interesting film, to be quite honest. Even the big budget ones, I'm really not all that fussed about going to see this kind of the real Pompeii movie. It just doesn't interest me that much. And they're kind of previewing with things that we've seen, the volcano movie, I think Crimson Peak, whatever it was called. Again, not all that well remembered, I have to be honest. So here we are with this one. It's like you're going to expect. It's very, very stupid. Very cheesy, very kind of cheaply made, lots of kind of shortcuts made with filmmaking, including stock footage and things like that, which Asylum do. But overall, if you kind of like natural disaster movies, I guess this is not as a bad of effort as you might expect from Asylum. But overall, like I said, this if you've seen a majority of other Asylum pictures, it's going to be more or less the same. But it's like I said, there are some small redeeming features here. Anyway, so I'm going to give this movie a 3.5 out of 10. It could have been worse, I have to say, but overall it was kind of dull, not all that interesting. You never really kind of get any sort of real sense of danger from any of the sort of main characters and things like that. Strange DVD cover on some of them as well, I've got to say. Anyway, 3.5 out of 10. Have you seen it? What did you think of it? Leave me a comment. I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.